Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hazeeq, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at DSLA protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. And also there is a donation link down below in the description. If you want to donate to help out the kids in Gaza, feel free to do that. And let's jump into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, we still have the same Fibonacci retracement from months ago. We essentially put up a fib from the swing high in April down to the swing low in January 2023. And as you can see, we had a very nice retracement down to the 786. And then we had a move to the upside. We ran into the 0.382. And then we're having a nice pullback from there to the golden ratio at 0.000888. And that's where I would be buying. So this is a really good spot to start accumulating some DSLA tokens if you don't have any. Keep in mind the tokenomics of this project are really good and the market cap is really low. From the bottom here in January 2023, we're only up 183%. So this is once again a perfect opportunity to get some coins if you don't have any yet and wait for the bull market, because during the bull market I do think we're going to be coming up to the all-time high at the very least, and from the current prices that would be approximately 2,500%, which is roughly 2.5 cents. And I do think it's very possible DSLA protocol is going to be breaking the all-time high as well. Now in terms of this fractal here, you can see we are printing a higher low. That is very good to see, but it's disappointing that we printed a lower high. So this is not a very good thing. Usually we do want to see a break of this high, but we did not see that this time around. Now, this also is a potential symmetrical triangle that we might be looking at here. And with a symmetrical triangle, we could be expecting a nice breakout. And we're going to take a look at that on the weekly chart in just a few seconds. But as for the daily chart, once again, this is a really good spot to be buying. You can target the golden ratio. And if you say, well, if we continue dropping, what should I do then? Well, you just continue dollar cost averaging. The lower it goes, the better for you, because the lower the price, the more tokens you can buy with less money. If you're bullish on the project, there is no reason not to buy when the price is dipping. So your next level of support would essentially be over here at 0.005834. That would be your next support, because this is where we bounced off in September 2023 before we had this move to the upside, and that's also where the the 786 Fibonacci level is. And below that we have a yellow trend line here that we might bounce off of in case we have a capitulation, or if we crash below the 786, which is 0.00051, and this is based on this touch from October 2022. And of course, it goes without saying, I really want to hold this low. If we drop below this low, that's going to be a negative statement from the DSLA token, because we're going to be losing a crucial support level. So it's extremely important we end up printing a higher low here, which we already have done. So ideally speaking, I don't want to be losing the 786 either. Having a bounce off of that area is fine, but going below the 786, that's not going to be very nice, because potentially we're going to be starting a downtrend over here, and we're essentially continuing the downtrend that we've been in for ages at this point. So holding the 786 is going to be the most important thing here. Of course, with a flash crash, with any sort of major crashes across the financial markets, DSLA protocol will dip alongside all of the other altcoins. So be ready for any sort of capitulations, especially before the Bitcoin halving. Anything can happen. They might want to drop the price and shake the people out before we actually get into the bull market. Anything can happen, so be ready for all possible outcomes. If we take a look at the daily RSI, you can see we are relatively low here. So once again, this oscillator is telling us that this is a good level to start accumulating. Now let's switch over to the weekly. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Jumping into the weekly chart, you can see we have a massive resistance trend line over here. So there we go. Second touch and a third touch over here. Now this is extremely important because once we are able to break above that trend line, that is going to be a major bullish signal. We've had this trend line since April 2021, and breaking above that would be extremely bullish, especially if we have volume coming in confirming that breakout. In that case, we can actually say that the bear market bottom has been printed. As of right now, we can't really say that because we broke down below the August 2022 high, right? So we kind of created this move to the upside. We had this nice uptrend, and then we bounced down. And so if we stabilized above the August 2022 high, if we solidified above that, we kept we stayed above the 55 EMA, then things would have been better. But as of right now, it is possible we're going to be retracing all the way down to the yellow support trend line. As you can see, that did hold us up in February last year, in September last year, and once again here in February, March. Maybe we'll see another pullback towards the yellow support trend line there. And notice how we're very close to the apex of this symmetrical triangle. Now, a breakout from here would be very much bullish, of course, if we're going to be expecting a bullish outcome. And that's going to take us approximately to 0.004 cents, roughly speaking. And that's exactly where this March 2023 move peaked, or I would say at the start of April. Roughly the exact same price. If we break out somewhere around, March, February time, that would take us exactly back up to that top. And from the current prices, you would be looking at a nice 340% to the upside. Of course, if we drop a little lower, you might start entering from here, and that will give you even more potential profit. But keep in mind, we possibly will be losing the yellow trend line. That is going to be a negative sign, of course. But like I said, you can target this low, right? Because this is the 786 retest from the previous chart that we looked at. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. And, having another bounce off of that is not the end of the world. As you can see, we did have one bounce in July from that level, another bounce in September 2023, and another bounce here in March, April, May, whatever, is not going to be the end of the world, but it's going to be relatively bearish, if we're going to be losing this yellow trend line. So those are a few levels you can take a look at and just set up some buy limit orders on KuCoin or wherever you're buying the tokens. Of course, this is not financial advice. And based on this major Fibonacci retracement, which is set up from this low to this high, you can see that our minimal target is going to be 0.068 cents, which I think is doable. It's a pretty strong impulsive move, you could say, from the current prices. That would take us approximately 6,500% to the upside, which is doable, right? This is a low cap gem, security layer for protocols. And I think with good marketing, this thing can absolutely, get to that level, especially if we have some tier 1 exchange listings. I think that's very possible. But let me know, where are you buying DSLA? Let me know what are your targets to the upside, what is your average entry price, and hopefully we can make some good money on this project. Thank you all for watching this video. Stay safe and take care.